Just a hook.
Just a hook. You're going with the hook, huh?
Fuck yeah. No questions asked. Maybe even a snake hook.
Welcome to Two Guys, Two Questions, a chaotic, unscripted podcast.
Yeah, surprise questions with no prep.
I'm Ryan Keaton, a real estate guy who's happiest with an ocean view.
And I'm Jarrod Greer, a retro toy fanatic / loather who may or may not have a Batman cape within arm's reach right now.
You definitely do.
You don't know that.
From alligators to vibrators, superheroes to existential crisis, we cover it all.
Plus, every month we'll bring in a mystery guest and try to keep things extra unpredictable.
So if you like spontaneous conversations, French bulldogs stealing the show, and two guys who think they're funnier than they probably are, then you're in the right place.
Yep. Well, enough of this. Let's do this. Two Guys, Two Questions starts now. I'm joining you today with the Barry Manilow voice. No, not Barry Manilow. Fuck. Who's that guy? That's a different voice.
Oh, man.
Yeah. That'd be Barry White, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
that's Barry White. With the Barry White voice. I was literally last Saturday, I was sitting at the reptile show and I told Katrina, I said, you know what? I think I got a problem. She said, what? I said, I think I'm getting sick. And it wasn't anything really big that day or even Sunday. But Monday, I was fucking sick. And Tuesday and Wednesday, I had the full-on man flu for a couple of days.
That's the blessing and curse of getting old.
Yeah.
It's like you know your body. You're like, fuck. This is
Yep.
going to be bad in a day or two.
Yep.
I know exactly the same. You're like, I can be sitting there and I'm like, oh, man. So I start pounding vitamin C and different things of that nature. But
yep. Yesterday, Katrina, I was coughing my head off, and she went to her house and got me a bottle of cough syrup that she'd had for a while, and she brought it and handed it to me, and I'm an idiot, so I just took the lid off and went, took a big fucking drink of it, and she said, I don't think you're supposed to take that much of that. And I said, well, yeah, it'll work out.
yeah, 2 ounces.
And 9 hours later, I woke up. I had been asleep on the couch at work all day. I just went straight in the office, laid down on the couch, and went to sleep. Said, see ya. And then came home, had more cough syrup, went back to bed, woke up this morning, finally went to the doctor and got my own cough syrup. And they gave me a shot in the ass and with a steroid shot that hurt like a sumbitch.
Those things are brutal.
There's no way to remain dignified when you're almost 50 years old and you're in a doctor's office with two young women and they say, take your pants down. So we give you a shot in the ass.
Yep.
It's like,
yep. You just accept your fate.
fuck. I'm going to try not to be a baby about this.
You can have a couple minutes to fluff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's anyway, it's very it strips you right of your manhood right there.
Yeah, just gone, over, done with quickly.
Yeah, just get it over with. And then I went and got a haircut, and here I am. So yeah, it's the extent of my fucking week. I've been dead. How about you?
Well, you know, the heads up about the
yeah.
And so I went entirely different than I normally would, kind of cut up, thought I was like, okay, I'm going to cut over here, get over onto the thing. What I did was I cut right through the belly of the beast.
So you're
and
stuck
luckily
in the middle.
it hadn't started, but I was surrounded on both sides like I was Tom Brady that won the Super Bowl. You know, as I was driving through, they were lined up ready for me, but luckily I got through before the actual parade started.
Yeah, they pretty, like everybody around on that lives on the street's been talking about it. You know, 6 o'clock Thursday night, you're not going to be able to leave. They're going to block our street. And it's like, is this a protest? What's happening? It's a fucking parade. They're throwing candy. Why can't I get out? You know, but it's true. You can't go fucking nowhere in town once that parade starts.
And so the good thing is, I think the cool thing about where you live, it's not going to probably come up to this spot. So if you go out and go right down to 23, you can get out of here. But yeah, you want to stay all the way away from Flatwoods.
Yeah. And I guess what is it, Christmas parade? Fall
I have
homecoming
no
parade?
idea.
Some shit? I don't know.
Fall parade.
I think this town just uses any reason to have a parade.
We're an area that likes our parades. Yeah. We like to celebrate. And it's funny because it doesn't take much to get in that parade.
Oh, no.
I could have had a float in that parade if I wanted.
We could definitely, we should have a float for the podcast.
That's what we need to do.
It'd just be us sitting on a desk talking on the float. And we'll get some guy in a tractor.
Get mobile recording. That'd be glorious.
Yeah. So I heard one time, and I think this might be legit. Ironton, Ohio is right across the street, or right across the river from us. I heard they have like the oldest parade in the country or some such shit. Like fuck, I'm gonna have to Google it now. But somebody told me they have the longest running parade in the country, And I thought that was like Macy's or something in New York
Yeah,
or
you
something.
would think so. Yeah, you wouldn't think Ironton would pull that off.
Longest, or we'll see what the Goog has to say about this, but it goes back to our area does love parades. I grew up in Grayson. When I grew up, they'd have 2 parades a year. We had the Memorial Day parade and which they call Memory Days in Grayson. It's a whole thing. I think my grandfather actually started that when he was mayor there. Wow. But because he loved a good parade. But then they have a Christmas parade as well, and it was just like you see every motherfucker that ever grew up in town at the parade. It's like a goat fucking contest. Everybody's coming to it, you know?
Yep.
The Ironton Lawrence County Memorial Day Parade is the longest running Memorial Day parade in the United States. First parade held in 1868.
Wow.
Yeah. They qualified that, though, the longest running Memorial Day parade.
Yeah.
So I wonder when Memorial Day became a thing. So that's 1868.
Oh, yeah. That seems pretty early for a Memorial Day prior to 1868 as an actual holiday. So
yeah, 1868.
Oh, day one, year one.
Yeah,
they said, let's do it.
Fuck yeah, reason for a parade.
We've been waiting for our whole lives.
Been waiting. Made a federal holiday under the Uniform Monday Holiday Act of 1868. Wait a minute. 1968.
That's what I was saying. To me, that seems way early.
The last Monday of May. Oh, okay. Its origins trace back to Decoration Day of 1868. So I guess it was called Decoration Day before it was Memorial Day.
So in other words, they were just having parades for the sake of having parades, and they're like, "Oh, let's latch on and get a in the Guinness World Record."
What would your record be? This is not my question, but what would your record, if you were going to have a record in the Guinness World Book of Records, what would it be for? Jeez. I have some experience in this field. I'll tell you about in a second, but I want to know, what would you do? How are you getting in the book?
I technically was in the book.
Oh, now shit, nope. Lies.
Yeah, well, so it's not real. It's not that impressive.
You're gonna have to prove it.
I got to tell you the story first, right? Okay. So Ryan Keaton's name's not in there.
Oh, okay, I got you.
What happened was I was at a UK basketball game, and they had an actor there, and basically the Guinness World Book they had brought in to basically we were going to break the loudest indoor stadium noise level.
Yeah.
And we did it as the crowd. So the guy came out, the Guinness World Book guy came out, said, yeah, we will all be in there. So in the Guinness World Book,
they should have listed your fucking name.
I'm sure it just says UK, Reparina or whatever, but I was there when it happened. Mm-hmm. So that is the closest that I've gotten to being a world record holder.
So I had a buddy, this is weird because I'm not going to do that. So Jason David Frank, which was the Green Power Ranger.
Yeah, he's got like a weird
Guinness World Record. He was a shameless self-promoter. Just the best in the world at self-promoting himself. And he come up with, he wanted a Guinness World Book of Records, so he decided he was going to skydive and break 7 boards, like karate chopping these boards while in free fall. And that got him in the Guinness, because he called him, he's like, hey, I want to do this. You got a record for that? And they said, oh, yeah, we had a guy that broke 3 boards in the air one time. So Jason said,
I got that.
I got that. So he did like 7 in free fall, got in the World Book of Records. I keep thinking, what would I want to do? I don't know, man. I think you got to go. I think it's almost cheating to pick some really qualified thing, like chewing bubble gum and walking backwards and burping 4 times and farting without shit in your pants or whatever.
In other words, just getting so crazy.
Yeah, you can't get in the weeds. You got to pick something like the most toes chopped off or something. I don't know. You got to pick something hard. I'm not saying that hard, but I don't know. I think about that a lot because I'm, too, a shameless self-promoter. Are there things I'd like to be in the Guinness World Book of Records for? I can't think of anything that wouldn't be dubious anyway.
Any listeners out there that want to contribute?
You want to contribute. You got a good idea. We'll try it. Yeah. We should make the largest pizza or some shit. I don't know. Seems.
That'd be yummy. Or nasty.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be good. But anyway, what else? Anything else cool happened this week?
The one cool thing is kind of staring me in the face here because you left it out, so I'm going to go ahead and address it.
Okay, but, I'm scared. I'm scared.
So
what is
my question is?
Oh, yeah. Here, let me see that. I bought this in an estate sale. Look here, $5 in an estate sale. $5. And at $5, I thought I am not leaving that behind because this is. It's better than you think. It's a 2-volume set.
Oh, a 2-volume set.
And this one is How to Attain and Practice the Ideal Sex Life.
What is the follow-up? What's the accompaniment to
Oh,
that?
it's better. Picture stories of the sex life of man and woman. And I haven't even yet really got to explore this. When was this written? I think it was in the 40s. And I'm sure it's going to be full of quality information from the 40s. Yep, 1940. Copyright 1940. First print.
Oh, so that means they were working on that in the 30s.
Yeah.
To release it.
Super excited to see what this says. I'm sure it says don't smack her more than twice.
More than twice. Huh?
More than twice.
The number?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's a number. But, they were into that shit in the 30s, I think. Anyway, I just could not leave that behind at an estate sale. I think about this all the time. This is one of these things that when I die, they're going to think I'm weird. We've talked about that before.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot, yeah.
So I dig books, man. I buy books on all kinds of weird shit. And if I'm out at sales, I find cool books. And also, I buy a lot of collections of shit. And inevitably, there are books. There are straight up porn. And then there's a book on sex, whatever. Some of those we never sell them, so they just end up amassed around my warehouse. We have pallets, of course, of porn.
Yep.
But also I'm going to say 200-300 old books about sex. It's just one of those things that I see. When I see it, I go, oh, fuck, I'm buying that.
Gotta have that.
Gotta have that. Fuck yeah, I gotta have that.
We need to have a little sex museum.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the new.
Maybe. But it's one of those things, I don't know what I'll ever do with them.
Yeah.
And people just think I'm weird. Maybe I ain't. Fuck. The people will know I'm weird when I die. Yeah. People will know I'm weird when I die.
That's what everybody does, right? Buy 1940s books on sex. I mean, it's just, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so I go into old bookstores and shit, and I'll say, do you have any old books on reptiles? Because I have hundreds of textbooks on reptiles, old texts, any original comic book art or books about comic books. And then old books about sex. So those are 3 things I buy, and that does make me weird, probably. Oh, well, I guess I'm outed.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I am very curious to read here and see what it takes to make a good sex life in 1940, though.
To me, it sounds like you're just trying to be very clever. Yeah. Can I get some old toys and maybe some magazines on snakes or reptiles? Yeah. And while you're at it, if you got any sex books back there,
with an accompanying volume with pictures.
Yes.
Yeah. But $5 on half.
I feel like that's a $5 well spent.
$5 on half off day. That is it.
They're anatomically.
Diagrams.
I love it.
Holy shit!
That's what you did, man. You were just straight up. There wasn't no.
Man, this is pure clinical here. This is not. This is like what to do if she has hysteria.
Maybe you do need that.
Holy shit! This is in depth now. I am reading that fucking thing later. Well, shit.
We went sideways quick.
Yeah, sideways quick. I gotta learn to watch what I leave on the desk, I guess.
The funny thing is none of that surprised me. Okay. It was just like, I can't leave it alone.
Okay, I probably don't blame you. Had I realized I left it right there in front of you. While we're talking about just stupid shit that happened this week, one thing that did happen, and I sent it to you. Am I completely stupid for wanting to buy like 100 acres of desert?
I think it's intriguing.
So, backstory here. I found it's 75 acres of desert, and it's just fucking desert, people. It's sand.
Yep.
I mean, it's sand and fucking cactuses out in West Texas. It started out as a hunt. I was looking for a place to go hunt snakes, and this place is perfect geographically for all the fucking cool snakes in the West. But, all the land out there is private property, and you get shot for crossing fences and going on other people's property. But I started looking on Realtor.com, and they owe us $12 for that mention. or Ryan gets a free month of referrals.
I like it.
Yeah. And I found out I can buy 70 acres of land out there for what seems stupid cheap. I mean,
it seems ridiculously cheap. And one of the things that is it just entirely restricted land? So basically you're just buying it because you want to fucking own it. Because
I don't think it's restricted at all.
I was trying to there was some mention about water lines and no,
I'm sure this
is boring for everybody on the podcast, but I mean, looking into that, I think is definitely a cool thing. And it was funny because I went online and I think I just popped in. I was trying to get a little bit of background on that area of Texas. And one thing that popped up, because I know the reason you'd be getting it is go out and get some coal snakes, maybe do some camping, you know, whatever that is. But apparently there was a sighting in Texas because this past week, and that's why it popped up, of a white albino raccoon.
Oh, okay. Chupacabra.
Yeah, so I just okay, well, cool. You're going to go out there to get you some snakes. You might get a white raccoon.
Do you think if I bought that land, could I then? I'm sure there's other motherfuckers that are crazy like me and want to go hunt snakes. I could charge them to go hunt snakes on my land.
Dude, everything, you probably get a permit or that kind of stuff. I think if you market anything correctly.
And here, I've thought this through. Best case scenario. This is best case scenario. Okay, you Jed Clamp at this shit. You buy 60, 70 acres of land out in Texas. You go out, you're shooting at some food, and up through the ground comes a bubbling crude. Mm-hmm. It's Texas, people. There's Texas tea out there, I heard.
Yep.
So maybe I hit oil, strike it rich on my shitty West Texas land.
I would probably go in a different case scenario.
Yeah.
Because there's zero chance that is up available for sale if there was any chance of being oil there. I think that people have... Those people, oil people aren't fucking stupid.
I've seen people take them sticks and what do they call that?
You're looking for water at that point.
No, I think they do it for oil too.
Do they really?
I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't even know how they find water with sticks, but I hear it works. Divining. Anyway, I'm going to buy this land. Do you want to make a commission off of it, or do you want me to go straight to the realtor?
I might as well give you a referral.
Okay. I thought that.
If we can make some money.
Yeah, I thought that. We'll make us both some money on the deal. Anyway, all right. You got a question? You got a real thing here? Or you don't need to?
Well, I tell you what. You haven't asked a question in about 3 weeks, so I'll let you ride.
Okay. All right. I got one.
I don't want you to forget it.
Kind of already did. But here, this is the gist of it. Tomorrow, you wake up and you have Jed clampeted or whatever, so Ben calls you. Ben's our mutual accountant, I guess, isn't he? Still?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Ben calls you and he says, hey, you remember that time you did this? Well, good news, that's paid off like Forrest Gump. You don't have to worry about money anymore. Okay?
Yep.
You have enough money to comfortably live the rest of your life the way you want to live it. What do you do with the rest?
I put it into...
Before you answer, let me qualify this. Before you answer, I'm saying you've got money that you're probably not ever going to directly see the benefit of.
Okay.
So I'm saying it's purely extra
So in
money.
other words, you're wondering what I would do with the fuck off money.
Yes.
I've put accounts for the grandkids,
what do you do with the fuck you
future
money?
grandkids, all that shit's taken care of.
You're gonna feed.
What's fun?
Who you feeding? What are you curing?
In all honesty, probably one of the first things that if that kind of situation happened to me, I would probably be coming to you and go, okay, what is some dreams or some shit that we've thrown away, maybe forgotten, that we could do that's fun?
Yeah.
I would say probably 100% lock that we're looking into I'm looking into some country to do some ecotourism kind of things because to me, that would just be shit that both of us like. Granted, I'm dragging you into this.
Yeah, but
because I just.
But are you doing that in an effort to make more money, or just to go out and have fun? Fuck off.
I'm doing that in an effort to go have fun.
Okay, gotcha.
And not that there won't be some type of financial, because fuck you money is good and good.
Yeah, I guess what happens if it's fun making money to you,
Yeah, and that's what I said. I think to me, the ecotourism, if you could do it in such a way to where it helps money, but then I could turn around and go, you know what? I don't have to have this money. And I can say, you know what, I can take 40%, 50%, 25%, whatever makes sense, and give it straight back to the area that
the economy of the area,
and just say, here you go. Here's, or we build a hospital, or you go, you know what, we're gonna have the Keaton Greer Keaton community.
I like my name first.
Yeah. Well, it's not your fucking money.
What? Listen, you drug me into this shit. I have stipulations. On the hospital, it's my name first. Okay? Yeah. On the library, it can be, no, I want the library. You can have the hospital. Okay.
But yeah, no, I think I would be doing things like that. There would be 100% situations where I'd be looking at ways that I could make a difference in communities and things of that nature. But I would not want to create a job. In other words, I would want to maybe have some type of charity organization or something to that effect for that money, and aggressively look to find the right people to run that. And then I'm just going, hey, here's some ideas. I'll sign off and say yes or nay, yay or nay, but I don't want to be the one. I don't want to create a job.
Yeah. Here's another twist on that. Me and my dad have had this conversation a lot. Say you're ensuring that your family has quote unquote generational wealth or whatever. You set up a fund for your kids, for your grandkids, and then if the money keeps coming in, how far down the line you go? How far? How
do
you go to the great? Oh, here we're putting $1 million in the great grandson's fund or whatever. And I'll tell you, my dad's take on this is, if I don't know them right now and think they're good people, fuck them.
Yeah.
And he's even on the fence on some of those. I mean,
right, yeah.
And partly because he don't have that much fucking money to worry about. But he, in doing his estate planning and stuff, he's almost adamant that I'm going to leave the shit to my children, and it's up to you to decide how far down the line it goes.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Which is, I don't know. I guess he's too afraid that somebody will be an asshole down the line.
But I also think that is somewhat valid. I think that's probably what my parents are going to do. I mean, they're doing certain things right now for the grandkids and at this point now, great grandkids. But I think whenever it comes to that time frame, it's going to be me and Eric.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that, do you want to do this? If not, you're my kids. I want to take care of you, but we're going to use some of that.
Well, partly, I think maybe it is that you don't want a young person to grow up with the ability to have enough money to make bad decisions, maybe. Is that dumb? I had a very good friend whose mom died when he was very young, and at 19, he inherited a whole bunch of money, and by 20, he had nothing left but tax debt.
Yeah.
And it's just because 19-year-olds aren't equipped to deal with.
Well, I think if you look at lottery statistics, there's not anybody really. It's very few people that are equipped with getting a large sum of money and being able to.
I wouldn't be. I mean, I'm buying West Texas desert land right now.
But I mean, you're not spending any money that you can't. It may sting, but in reality, if that money never came back to you, your life isn't severely altered.
Right. Do you watch the precious metals market at all? Anything like gold, silver?
I know gold is when.
Yeah, gold and silver are both nearly at all-time highs.
Yep.
I think silver's only hit $50 once in history, and it's bouncing around $48.50 right now. When just a few years ago it was 27 to 30, whatever. I've been very low-key hoarding silver for about 6 or 7 years. And I say very low-key because not in mass quantities, not real money, not even on purpose. But like if I go through change, I'll hoard silver coins, or if I'll buy a collection of stuff and there's silver coins in it, I'll just stash them back. And just in a little file box, I have nearly enough silver to buy that damn land. Really? So, and that's just been done just purely accidentally. My son Jackson has only been doing it for a year because he saw me doing it, and he bought himself a little treasure chest, and he thinks it's cool to put silver coins in it. It's over $1,000 worth of silver right now. And I think, but I don't know. If it's at an all-time high, do you sell it?
Well, or all-time highs are all-time highs for a reason. Right?
I know, but
but also, the reason those are climbing is because of how shit the economy
Yeah.
is, right? And in reality, even if
people pump money into gold when they're scared.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
And that's the reason that those are just going crazy, is that's what people are doing. They're like, okay, I need to get my Fort Knox version set up.
It does bother me because my dad has a buddy that has been hoarding silver since I was a kid. And I know he has 100 times as much as I do. And I talked to him the other day, said, "You ready to sell?" And he said, "Nah, I'm holding." And I thought, okay, is this old guy about to make the biggest mistake of his life? Or is he smarter than me?
Yeah.
Or is he smarter than me? You know, because I'm a bad investor because I'm an emotional investor. I did really good with the silver because I never thought it was enough money to worry about. It was just like, it's just over there. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Until somebody said to me, "Hey, silver's at nearly an all-time high." I was like, "Oh, fuck. I got to gather my shit."
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I would think, to me, it's almost like anything else is, would that land be worth more to you? I mean, like the one we talked about.
I mean, really what's going to happen is I'm going to fly out there once, or drive out there maybe. I'm going to kick around on the sand and flip all the rocks and go, no snakes. And I'm going to go to a hardware store there somewhere and buy a bunch of old pieces of plywood, and I'm going to throw them out all over the property for snakes to hide under. And I'm going to fly back home. And then twice a year, I'm going to drive out there and flip those boards over and go, fuck, no snakes. Or, ooh, snakes. Yeah. And that's just the extent of what I'm going to do with it, unless some casino calls me and says, "Hey, we want to buy your West Texas desert." Or some oil company goes, "Hey, we found out there might be oil under that. We're going to pay you a lot of money for it."
Yep, or lease it.
And the other thing is, I don't know, maybe I'm do-gooder enough in my mind to think that I would be buying that land simply to remain habitat for the critters. I know nobody's, nobody's going to build a house there and kill everything. So
yeah.
Part of me wants to go buy a bunch of jungle just so they don't cut it down. I guess I'm a tree hugger.
Yep.
I'm really not at all. But part of me thinks I am sometimes. Anyway, is that derogatory? Are you allowed to say that anymore? Tree hugger? Tree hugger?
I think so.
I think that's still safe.
I'm sure somebody out there listening is offended.
I'm not. I don't use it as a derogatory term. I know a lot of really good tree huggers.
Yep.
And sometimes I count myself in that crowd.
I would say I count myself somewhat in that as well.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not going to chain myself to a tree or anything like that, but do I want to see rainforest and things of this stuff, things like that survive? Absolutely.
I just think all those terms that we used to use a lot probably get shit on a lot anymore. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, fuck you. I went first. Oh, what I'm going to do with my money? I guess I'm going to buy rainforest.
Yeah.
And selfishly, maybe, because I'd buy it in the guise of I'm going to protect this rainforest, and that'd be cool. Sound cool. But then I'd go there and hunt snakes myself. Yeah. So. And by hunt snakes, by the way, I mean with a camera. I'm not looking to go pillage 9 million snakes off of the rainforest. Birders,
yeah,
I'm a snake lover, snake watcher. That field is called herpetology, and guys that do what I wanted or what I do are generally called herpers, which sounds weird. I know, it's funny. Herpers, herpetologists, birders. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they told me birders didn't like being called birders.
Oh, really?
Okay. I guess that's maybe tree huggers don't like being called tree huggers. I guess
this isn't my question.
Okay,
since we've mentioned birders, right?
Yep.
So birders have, is it called the perfect year, or something to that effect, or basically they have some term for whenever they, I guess, see every bird or something like that. They go out for a year and they
checked off everything they wanted to check off that year.
Yeah, they hit a list. There's something they called. So what would that be for you? What would be your perfect year?
I was trying to see if it was over there. It's probably at my office. So there is a book published called The Snake Lover's Life List.
There you go.
And it is simply a book and where every page is, here is a snake that is native to the United States, with a line under it, and you write the story of when you found that snake in the wild.
Cool.
Time of day, where, when, why, how. And, it's an extensive list of snakes in the U.S. There's a bunch of them. So lots of snake guys are working on their life list, they call it, or whatever. I've never really taken it. I have a copy of it. I don't take it with me. I seldom write in it. If I find something really new and extraordinary, I'll dig it out and write it down. I like to say I hunt snakes for fun these days, because it is purely just the excitement of flipping something over and there being a big snake under it, and that's cool, especially if it's something you've never seen before. But I really don't have a purpose for it. I don't do shit with it. I don't record data. I don't do anything of any value with it other than get 30 seconds of happiness.
30 seconds of happiness and a smile.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And I mean, when I travel, of course, I usually have a mental list in my head of what snakes are here. And if that's actively why I'm traveling, of course, I have target species, things I want to find, things I want to cross off the list. But overall, it's just something I do to lower my blood pressure. Although as I get older, I'm not nearly as good a snake hunter as I used to be. I think I'm not in tune with the juju of the critters anymore.
Yeah.
But like I used to, when I was young, I could go out and rustle up all kinds of snakes. These days, I think I'm just old and tired and lazy and set in my ways, and I don't like to get out of the truck as much. And also, do-gooders have fucked up snake hunting, because the easiest way here in rural eastern Kentucky to find snakes is to hunt artificial cover. Roofing tin is where it's at. Yeah. Big pieces of sheet metal heat up in the sun in the early morning, and snakes get under that to get warm. Yep. And if you can find a field full of old sheet metal, you can find snakes. But the price of scrap metal and the do-gooders of the world have cleaned up all the places that used to be covered in trashy scrap metal.
Yeah.
And they have really fucked up the artificial habitat side of snake hunting. Finding places now, it's generally you have to find a farmer who has a bunch of shit sitting around out in his barnyard.
Because now they're having to go out into their natural habitat.
It depends on, I guess it depends on how you're looking at it.
Are you wanting to fish with dynamite too?
Yeah.
I mean, is it?
No. Electric shock works better. Yeah, it's all float right up. But no, if I bought land in Texas, I will absolutely be going out there and spreading around a bunch of plywood, because in the desert, they don't want under sheet metal.
Yeah.
They want their things to get cool. So plywood, boards, that kind of thing. Anyway. All right. What else?
So
what was the fucking question? I don't even remember. There was a question there.
I have not asked a question.
Oh, okay.
The question was, what would be, and like I said, wasn't my official question, but it kind of led to from that was, what would be your quote unquote perfect year?
Okay.
Let's say 3.
Well, I'm going to go to West Texas next year, whether I buy this land or not. I'm going to go to West Texas next year, and I'm going to catch a gray-banded king snake.
Okay.
That's what I want to do. But if I buy this land, I'll catch a gray-banded king snake on my own motherfucking land.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's a weird little niche thing that idiots want to do. So
now, is that a venomous snake?
No. Nope. Non-venomous. They're found in a pretty small area of West Texas, though, and they're extremely pretty if you're a snake guy.
Yep. Interesting. Okay.
All right.
Real question. So I had 3 different questions, and one that was...
hit me with 2 of them.
Yeah. So one of them's fun. One of them's probably a little deeper, and it is a little deep. And then the other one is, would be an interesting conversation. Fun one, you said I got 2. Go ahead and do 2. So the fun one is, if your right hand had to be surgically removed and replaced with an inanimate object, what would that object
Just
be?
a hook.
Just a hook. You're going with a hook, huh?
Fuck yeah. No questions asked. Maybe even a snake hook. Like a...
Well, that's what I'm saying. To go with this, that'd make those rocks a lot easier, nothing to bite.
It has to be inanimate. It can't be... Could it be an extendable hook?
Nope,
it's inanimate. That'd be even better. Okay. Well, just a hook would be fine.
Yeah.
I'd like for it to almost touch the ground.
So you can make it as long as you want.
Yeah, I'd like for it to almost touch the ground when I'm standing so I can flip rocks with it.
There you go.
Fun fact, I know a guy, going to try not to out him on this, but this is going to get pretty specific. I know a guy I went to, did we ever talk about the guy I went to school with that lost his arm and has a hook?
No.
Okay.
No, sir.
I went to school with a dude who, when we were very young, he's a couple years older than me, but when we were very young, he lost his arm up to the elbow in I think in a hay baler or some such shit. Anyway, back in the day, he got the prosthetic that just had a little hook. It just
very necessary, by the way.
Yeah.
Because nobody would have known what the hooks were without you
Yeah.
doing the finger.
Yeah, just a lobster crawl, Anyway, he just had the little hook. And funny enough, they call him Hook, which I would think he would be upset by, but he's not. That's just what he wants to be called. But with all the medical technology, all the advancements over the last 30, 40 years, this motherfucker's still rocking a hook.
Rocks the hook.
That's all he has. All he needs.
Figured it out. He knows what it does.
It goes rent. That's all it does. And that's all he wants, needs, or I'm thinking.
For the listeners out there,
did he learn to jack off left-handed or what? Because you ain't.
I'm just saying, for the listeners out there that are doing audio only, this may be one to go check out the YouTube video for. I think everyone will enjoy that.
Whatever.
Because I don't know what else you're doing with those hooks.
Yeah, I mean, he uses it pretty well, really. I mean, he's had it since literally, I think he was probably 10 or 11 years old.
No, I didn't know what you were doing with your metaphorical
little
hooks, because they were doing some interesting things. Kind of like grandma's little fingers.
That's true. That is how they're shaped. God damn it, Brian. I hadn't even made it that far yet. Oh. Hold on. Prosthetic hook. And we're going to get a visual aid here. This right here. Hold on, sharing my desktop. This right here is what we're talking about. It's just a bent hook. That's it.
I know exactly what you're
okay,
talking
well,
about.
you act like,
I'm just saying that
I wasn't making something dirty out of old Hook's hand.
Well, the visual that audio listeners wouldn't see certainly
guess,
had some variance to it.
Okay,
so.
yeah. Anyway, that's what I want. I want a snake hook that I can flip rocks with if you're taking my arm. Yeah, no questions asked. There's not even a gray area for that. Next question.
Yeah. So this has been too upbeat and a fun ass conversation. So I'm not going to go into the deep part of it. So next question is that if you can pick two people to have a beer with, right? Different than having dinner. You get to just sit down and actually shoot the shit with them. They can be dead or alive. To the most interesting people that you think would be to sit down and have a couple beers with and just shoot the shit. You can ask them whatever the fuck you want to. You can just sit and hang out and think they're cool, listen to their stories. Just what two people and why? Dead or alive?
Okay, well, number one, simply because of recent deep dives in the internet, which the podcast now knows about because we talked about last week, is my great uncle Billy Jack.
I don't know I think that's a good decision. I want to be in on that.
Yes, I want to hear this man's stories.
God, could you imagine what 50s Billy Jack?
Yeah.
And so he would be 50s version Billy Jack.
Yeah, what he thinks about today. Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I just, there's all I know about this man is things that I've heard from my dad, which anything coming from my dad is his memory up until, let's see, Billy Jack died when my dad was 18. So his childhood memories of him. And then what I've read in old newspaper articles. And man, he seems like the most intriguing dude ever. So that's definitely one. I'm trying to think for any developments in that story since last I talked to you, or since last week podcasted. I don't think so. I spent a lot of time this week deep diving news articles trying to figure out what happened to the murdered couple's actual murderers. Newspapers.com has got me now as a life member now. I'm not even thinking about canceling that subscription. Secondarily, man, you're always inclined to say some famous person that you think would have cool life experiences or cool stories or some whatever. But literally, for me, I think if I've got $1 to throw out there and have a conversation with somebody, it's probably going to be, and I'd have a hard time deciding, it's probably going to be one of my two grandfathers that are both gone. Only because I have such good memories of both of those men. And there's lots of wisdom that both of them would have to instill in an adult me that they didn't think to instill in a young me. And I don't know, people that you knew, especially relatives that you knew when you were a kid, you don't know if you really knew those people.
I would argue that you really didn't.
Yeah,
you got whatever
version of them that
was appropriate for whatever you were at the time.
You as a child, yeah. You didn't, and part of it makes me wonder, would I see eye to eye with them?
Would it ruin it?
Would it ruin it for me? Or would I get some greater wisdom from them that would make me see something differently or whatever? But mostly, both of them were big storytellers, and I feel like there are stories that I didn't get, and some of those I think I'd like to get. Some of them I probably wouldn't. That leads me to a conversation that I had with a friend of mine, because through going down all this rabbit hole of case files and all this thing, which, by the way, I got the fucking case file on the guy wearing the hat. I'll show you after this. Awesome. You'll be scarred for life. Anyway, I got the full transcripts of the court hearings and all that shit, which, by the way, all that kind of shit for any case you can ever imagine is public record. I guess everybody knows this, but you don't think about it.
Yep.
You can just go to the courthouse and say, hey, I'd like to request the record on the 1968 murder of so-and-so, and they will make you. Sometimes it takes effort, and sometimes you have to pay for copies and all that shit.
And their work,
And sometimes it takes time, but they'll give you anything you ask for. And that led me down the road of there are some things that I would like to know, some stories I think I know that, man, it'd be cool to see the court hearing of that or whatever. But then a very wise friend of mine told me the other day, he said, be careful because you can't unlearn things.
Yep. That's what I was sitting here thinking in my head is that sometimes
the past is best left in
the past. Yeah. And why taint? I mean, that would be my fear of bringing, because, like my father's grandfather, I had really good grandfathers, but I was really, really close to my father's dad. And my nanny, I don't know that I would want to hear stories that would twist. I've got this fairy tale vision in my head. I know they weren't perfect people, and and I've talked to my parents. I know different things about growing up, but I think that's everybody's story. But for me, you could watch any sappy movie thing of like the picture perfect. That's what I had. Yeah. And it sounds like that's what you had as well.
Yeah.
I don't know I'd want to fuck with that. I like having that.
Yeah. It's like even Billy Jack for me, somebody I never knew shit about, and I have reading these stories, I've kind of romanticized him in my mind or whatever. It's like, oh, this fucking cool ass guy, whatever. But I think if I really found out he was a fucking asshole, I'd be like, fuck that guy,
Yeah.
And it's more fun for me to romanticize it a little bit and say, he did some cool shit. Traveled the world, knocked off laundromats and shit.
Or, well, a 50s version of...
50s version of
maybe it was based off him.
Yeah, he was a fucking asshole, probably. But anyway, I don't need to know that, I guess. And so I was immediately intrigued by the whole public record thing, and I was like, oh, I'm going to request records on this and this and this and this and this and this. And Tyler, who's probably one of the few people that actually will listen to this, I'll say, thanks, Tyler, for letting me know that there are some things you can't unlearn.
Yeah.
And some things you maybe don't need to know in their entirety, in the gory detail that is contained in court records.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was telling me that he's very careful in his capacity. He's a county official, but he said, when court cases come up about things that involve kids and things like that, especially, he said, I try not to know too much because I live in a small town and I'm going to see that motherfucker in the grocery store next door. And so I understand that.
There's only logic in that.
Yeah, for sure. Fuck. I guess that's my answer. Two people, probably be flipping a coin between my two grandfathers and then
Billy Jack.
Yeah. So, nobody exciting. There's
that could get even more interesting if Grandpa, Billy Jack's brother.
Oh yeah, get them all in one place. Yeah. There's also an author named Carl Caulfield. He wrote a book back in the late 50s called Snakes and Snake Hunting. And it's just a very well-written book about looking for snakes all over the country and catching snakes and keeping snakes and that sort of thing. I think he's probably got some damn interesting stories about where to find cool critters and things. And I love talking to most anybody that does field work in nearly any field that they find that they're passionate about. I listened to a podcast of a couple guys that it's mainly about snakes, but one of the guys is big into crayfish. And I'm nearly as excited listening to him talk about crayfish as I am listening to him talk about red paws. And crayfish are nothing to me. I don't give a shit. It's just he's passionate about it.
Well, he's a good storyteller.
Yeah, and he's a good storyteller. So, anytime somebody's a good storyteller and tells you a story of something that they're passionate about, maybe I'm just easily influenced. I can get riled up by it,
Yeah.
You can rile me up over anything. I'll join your cause. Fuck it,
I'm in.
Whatever. I'm in. Just protect them fucking crayfish, whatever. I'll buy in. Fuck it. All right, listen. It's a Thursday. We need to get our plan together to buy some West Texas desert.
When you want to
go? I did read that. I don't know if you tell me, is this legal or is this a Texas thing? Did you read the part in the description that said if you're another realtor or a broker acting on behalf of a buyer, you must accompany the prospective buyer to look at the land before you're eligible for a fee participation. Yep. So you can't refer me and me fly out there and look at it unless you go with me.
A referral is basically I'm giving that to that agent.
Yeah.
And then that agent is the one that has to go there and go with you.
Okay.
So if you bought it, I would give a referral from that agent. What they're saying is
you're not going to get your...
If I was in Texas, I was a real estate agent in Texas, and you call me and you live in Texas, and you're like, hey, Ryan, I'm like, yeah, go drive by, buddy. Go walk it, do your thing, and then if you decide to make an offer, call me, and I'll write the paperwork and take the money. Yeah. What they're saying is like, no, there has to be an agent that does a company and goes, that.
So is that normal? Is that normal?
It's not normal to. Well, I don't know about Texas. It is normal for that to be the case.
Okay.
So, like, if I'm not going to go with somebody, which is very, very, very rare, but sometimes with vacant land, if somebody calls me last minute, wants to look, I'll check with the agent and say, hey, I've got a client that wants to look. I can't go. Is it all right? And the agent will say, yeah, that's fine. As a whole, though, that nobody should be walking onto a property to potentially look at it without an agent and being involved. Okay. So it is typical. I don't know if it's typical to put it on in the description.
Yeah, I read it kind of went, well, that's kind of dicky. But I didn't know what it meant, so maybe it wasn't dicky at all.
I don't think it was dicky at all. Probably what's happened is that the owner of the property has said nobody needs to be on this damn property, and it's vacant land. So what they're wanting is not everybody going, ooh, cool, this is some vacant land. Let's go out there and camp.
I'll just drive out there. Yeah, I'll just drive out there and camp.
Yeah. Or somebody's seeing it online. So basically that's what they're trying to basically say, hey, we're watching. Yeah. In some form or capacity, they're watching, or they want you to think they're watching. Yeah. Smart move on their part, I guess, for something unique like that. But, yep, let's go. Let's go at least look at it.
This weekend, I'm in Chicago. Next weekend, I'm in Lexington. But the next weekend, if it's still on the market, and it has been for quite a while, we could fly to Texas, in theory. Oh, yeah. Real quick. Yeah. All right, that's the plan. Podcast World, if we're on the road to Texas in a few weeks, we'll do a live one.
Perfect.
All right, see you.
And just like that, another episode of Two Guys, Two Questions is in the books.
We laughed, we learned. Well, we mostly just laughed.
Yeah, and if you made it this far, congratulations. You now have random knowledge you never asked for.
You're welcome.
Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and leave a 5-star review. Or don't, but just know if you don't, we're bringing back the squeaky toys.
Oh, it's coming back either way.
Well, until next time, same two guys, two questions, and absolutely no idea what we're doing.
Perfect.